Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you could pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues. You have issues between Russia and Ukraine. You have issue between Israel and Hamas, Guyana and Venezuela. People like these issues, particularly Israel and Hamas. Grenadians have a natural knack to discuss the issues between Israel and Hamas. It brings about biblical proportions. We don't like the issue about Haiti, and perhaps we could continue to wallow in David Rudder's song, Haiti, I'm Sorry. The situation in Haiti borders on the realm of disaster. You have gangs in control of Haiti. I heard some information that may be about 70 different gangs. You have kidnapping and other crimes committed in Haiti. Some of the gang leaders openly showing themselves and videoing actions. The Caribbean is hesitant, reluctant to take any action. The United States of America and Europe, because of their past history, is perhaps emasculated, while Haiti perish. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
And how are you?
Great, man. Good.
Mr. Pierre, I'm a first time call,
Thank
but
you.
I also always listen to your program,
Yes.
right? I am under the age of 35. I am one of the young persons out here,
You are a youth.
right? And NNP government, under them, many things happen. And let me punch now. Bus terminal was built. We had 2 hurricanes and a storm surge. We rebuilt it, how we are here today. The cruise ship terminal, we built it. The new wing in the hospital on the NNP. The evolving of electricity in Grenada on the NNP. The road networks that everybody like to cut out from traffic and everything on the NNP. The minor and the major bridges like the River Road, the long wall in Grand Mall on the NNP. Right? The evolving of telecommunication services on the NNP, provision of jobs for youngsters, example, Imani and other. He had other courses. I remember I went on one of those rural courses and that was on the NNP, right? We had free books and uniform. We hadn't had that no more, but it was on the NNP. We had a lot of scholarships with great results, right? We had community centers built. We had the lighting of the playing fields. Some was lighted and some was being lighted. But even though they made preparation for that and they did it, right? We had the building of the ministerial complex. We had the fish markets built, Grenville and St. George. We have polyclinics in Guave, and there is many more. I can't think about more now, but I will call it back and I will give you some more, right? But on the NNP, they care. You see, poor people and persons who in need, they definitely are better off under the NNP. Even the rich ones, they're better off. The only thing is they don't like the how should I say? I'm looking for the word. But anyhow, they don't like how they have to go by the books when they're under. They prefer schemes and they prefer to get it free and they prefer to get it, their way. But the poor and vulnerable, we need NNP to be there to help us survive here in Grenada. And that is, I call today, Mr. Pierre, because I always hear a man calling and telling you, oh, no, young people doesn't call the program. And I listening to him, this guy, I don't know if in America you have an accent. And I just always listen to him. And I'm like, you're talking foolish. That don't mean we don't listen in. We listen in. Right? On the NFP, they do many things. Even when you had like the truckmen and them, You have truckmen that walk in, everybody would get something. No, when you go, they're telling you, your truck too small, right? Their friends buying 2 and 3 trucks and they could do the work instead of one man alone getting all the work. Some will say, oh, that happened on the NMP. I can recall that. If I don't know, I can say, but I could talk on what I know. So, Mr. Pierre,
Thank you,
have a
caller.
good day.
Thank you very much.
All right.
And I think that is important. And I always chastise quietly then NNP for the poor public relation. I've seen the battering that this political party got from the NDC politicos. And they practically said nothing. And complacency. And I guess they have to pay for the complacency in the action, and overconfidence and complacency. But since Dick Mitchell said nothing has been achieved in Grenada since 1983, I think you're correct. I support you there to say some of the things that was achieved. And not only on radio. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Well, good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother. You are beaten to the ball today.
That lady, I wanted to open bad, but I just reached.
You are beaten to the ball.
Speak for everybody.
Yeah.
She speak. I don't know where she from. She speak a book because I don't want to start to mention what NNP has done. I won't finish it. Your program is too short for that.
But it's always good to mention 4 or 5 different ones. You see, the NDC has been propagating the view that nothing has been achieved. And if you don't hear it from the ordinary man, what was achieved, then obviously they have the ball in their court. Yes, go ahead, God.
Yes, I want to make a point. I have no objection with the cleaning of the roadside. Yeah, that, I mean, probably if people have their vehicles parked in the wrong place on the roadside, have creating problem for traffic, or they have a little booth. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But I want to guarantee to the nation, and as I always say, who have ears to hear, listen. Dr. Mitchell, as a leader, will never organize. I could speak for him because I know the gentleman, I worked with him. And when I look at him, I see the love through him for poor people. He will never organize a demolition crew without having discussion with these people and working out some sort of alternative. He, as leader, will demonstrate what you call leadership, because he recognize that some people might be doing that as their only means of survival. And that is where leadership comes in. A lot of NDC activists say, oh, it should have been done a long time. They have no right to be by the roadside and knock it down and knock it up. Never encourage that to be in that way. I'm not saying he may not endorse clearing the roadside, but he would have do it in a different light. This is saying, this is the man for the poor people. This man was sent by the Almighty God. Then people say, I think it's he alone who could rule. No. But he didn't come by a coincidence. He was sent by the Almighty God to help the people after Eric Matthew Gary. I worked with Eric Matthew Gary, who had love for the people. And then met with Dr. Mitchell. He said, I will continue from where Eric Gary left out. And so was it. So I want anybody to challenge that. It would not have do it without consulting. It would not have do it without working out an alternative for the poor people.
Yes, scholar, I have to agree with you, but I'll go further than that. What the National Democratic Congress is doing is not necessary. It is not good. It is economic stupidness. The question is why people have all these little boots by the road. You have high unemployment in a country. You're coming from a period of time of COVID-19 where a number of boots spring up because people were restricted in their movements. You close down marketing board. So farmers now are using these small outlets throughout the community to sell their products. The government contributed to the high cost of living. The government of Grenada under Dick Mitchell directly contributed to the high cost of living. Why do I say that? They raised the price of sugar. They raised the price of water and electricity. If you raise the price of sugar, then you raise the price of all the confectionery goods made by the local people to generate income. Perhaps the NDC have never heard of the term turn your hand, make move, do sit down there, do something. That is the terminologies that was used by people. They encourage people to get up and get. They will make red mango, fudge, tamarind ball, papa ball, potato pudding, cake, and some of them cake burn, they green, they red, people eating it still. And as a result of that, they generate an economy in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good evening.
Yes,
I do daily issues of the sugar. Well, I was make tamarind ball. I went to buy 10 pounds of sugar, and when they tell me $25 for 10 pounds of sugar, well, my heart sleep. Because I know you could have buy 25 pounds of sugar for $25. So what I want to ask now, I want to know, I mean, I'm hearing about the 4 policemen charge and things, but I really didn't understand. But last night now, as I was watching the national thing, like Caribbean thing, like, and then I see like when they show everybody, and I see they show Grenada, and then I see the Prime Minister, and then I see he talking and say that he do the charges. So the Prime Minister that charge them police, and then that what I don't understand, the Prime Minister what do the charging of them police?
Well, it appears that the Prime Minister is doing some micromanaging. You see, I say to people, when the Prime Minister introduced restorative justice in this country, we should have heard a cry, because restorative justice in its practicality is nothing but an political vengeance. And then the Prime Minister set up a ministry for political mischief. And the Prime Minister claimed he is responsible. So an incident happened which 3 people break the custody of the police. And the government is saying now they break the custody because these 4 people were negligent or they deliberately involved. So they're charging them. The Prime Minister and the Commissioner of Police say they're not them. They're responsible.
So, okay, so the Prime Minister what do the charge, the Commissioner?
It appears the Prime Minister must order the charging because he said they were charged this morning.
But what I tried to say, Mr. Pierre, I never know if Prime Minister could do that.
Particularly because it's an internal discipline action. Normally, Prime Ministers don't involve in that. It's an internal disciplinary action. But this Prime Minister acted differently.
Everybody that have to do their work, like how Mr. Andal had us to do his work too, because he's firing affairs, as they say, right?
They cancel the ticket for Andal.
But what I'm trying to say, but the Prime Minister don't have to do the people work. I mean, the Prime Minister, the people have their own work to do, but I've noticed that everybody have their work to do, and he gives them. So what is the reason? He's doing everything.
I believe the main reason is that Grenada have a third party dictating the foreign affairs. And maybe that third party that we don't know about is silently calling the shots.
Probably.
That is the only way I could come up with.
Because first time I see that in my whole life, like the Prime Minister do everything, like the media, and like I have to say, like Mr. Pierre, like everybody for the Prime Minister.
No, I don't think they afraid the Prime Minister, you know. You see, if you go back to the history of NDC is always like that. But this time they was.
But this one is very worse.
Yeah, this group is the worst group. They're hostile towards the poor and marginalized. Yeah. They're very insensitive. And if you look at the language, they are very insulting and dismissive language for people.
Yeah.
So they believe that they're in a special social group. And it's a group that don't exist, you know. They're trying to make it for themselves.
Well, yes, I find so.
Yeah.
Because for some, I see that in my whole life. Because, I mean, our Prime Minister passing with it, everybody had their duties. Everybody take their responsibility. But only he as a Prime Minister taking everybody's responsibilities. And I find that funny.
And it seems that he is using the government coffers to keep the ministers quiet.
I mean, like what I was trying to say, because he buy the people and them, that's why they don't resign. Yeah, because you remember in 2008, the people will start resigning so quick because the Prime Minister was there. First was Mr. Gilbert, second, well, who one thing, but this set what they know, as I don't saying every day. These people and them don't do anything to nobody in Grenada. They don't do nothing.
No, they say now is their time. Now is the time for their time and the family.
Yes, no, it's
if you hold number 10, now is hot time.
Yes, so it's only one set of people who are nourishing in Grenada, only the Prime Minister and his people and that. Yeah. But I don't say Mr. Pierre still yet, I don't say all of us in it. But what I'm trying to say, I'm never sorry for us because that's what we put ourselves in.
Well, so we always deserve the government we have, eh?
Yes, so we put ourselves there, so we have to take it until 3 years come. And when the 3 years come, Mr. Pierre, the people and them, they're all crying still yet. They say some of them tell me, we crying for them. We feeling it for them. So I say, yes, we have to cry for you because we need to. So we crying.
Yeah, everybody.
So
what happens to Grenada affect everybody in
everybody because we have to cry because it affects each and everyone. And what I try to say, Mr. Pierre, the boots and them on the roadside where the people, where they're taking it away and go. And notice that some who support them was great leader of campaigning for them. Some of them calling Shelland to cry the Shelland. But Mr. Pierre, we cannot do nothing for that. They have to work it out for themselves. We can't do anything for them because
we could console them and we could talk to them and we could try to educate them to understand that the NDC.
I'm still not consoling them.
You have to.
I don't do it still. Let them control their own self.
No, sometimes you have to help because
and then they're going when they make the mistake, they see they make a mistake. But we go console them still, Mr. Pierre. But they will go back and do the same thing.
If we have to educate our people that you have a political party that has always been hostile to people in the low income group. Always. In 2008, in 1990, remember they fired the older people on the estates. They fired them. You know, the NDC always like that. They fire the Imani, they lie to them, they tell them won't fire them, they fire them. They cut down Belvedere, Nutmeg. The NDC always like that.
Yeah, but Mr. Pierre, remember 2008, they get this thing, and Mr. Pierre, they come back and they get this thing again, and Mr. Pierre, they do the same thing.
They're doing the same
thing. So we can console them because we will cry for them, but if that is the choice, if the next come like 2027 come and then people still living and we live in, Mr. Pierre, then people will go back and do the same thing. So
we have to spend a lot of time educating. Yeah.
Where we trying to educate them, but Mr. Pierre, I think they will go back and do the same thing again because Mr. Pierre, as I say, remember all the people that was behind the NDC. Remember, Mr. Pierre, they didn't have a seat. And Mr. Pierre, 9 seats come out on the NNP and go to them people.
They still want opposition.
Well, but we have an opposition. We are the opposition.
Yeah.
We're trying to do what we could do, but we go hold on until, as I say, when 2027 is the election is, we're going to watch to see what the same people, you don't see Mr. Pierre, they don't ball in. Mr. Pierre, we crying for them people, so them people and them like it still because of baby Jesus. We come to big Jesus. So Mr. Pierre, Prince of Haiti. Them people like the Prince of Haiti still don't mind what they do, but they still love the Prince of Haiti because if was the opposition leader what was doing anything as what the Prince of Haiti do we know, you would have hear everybody still bad, this and that because I know they don't say, oh, when he's still crying for them, when he come and he do when them people die and he come and he sing on the if you go below his Facebook, I'll sing. Why the whole this, that is still crying for the people, but the people still saying things about him. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. We have to lead the people and them just like that on catch up themselves. Have a good evening, Mr. P.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yes. And you have to understand, some of the main members of the National Democratic Congress is benefiting quite a lot from this government. So don't expect them to object. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller. Caller, you on? Go right ahead. Caller, you try again. You on, caller? All right, try.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hello, Mr. Pierre.
You go right ahead.
Pierre, I know you have the experience. It was way back when. I said it on Master Carl show already, but I want you could explain that to me. Could you tell me any lawyer that run Grenada and did a good job? Call one lawyer that was Prime Minister of Grenada and did a great job. If you could do that for me, I'm listening, Mr. Pierre.
Okay.
Because NBC, if you look at Grenada, every time a lawyer take over this country, we in trouble. Just look at it, Mr. Pierre. Grenada cannot run by lawyers. We have to change that thing. Maybe we have to give it to a woman. But hoping that she is not a lawyer. Because the lawyer thing don't have to work in Grenada. Look at the history, Mr. Pierre. Maurice Bishop. Now everything collapsed. Yes, son. Tillman Thomas. Everything collapsed. He moved to Nazim Buck. Everything collapsed. We moved to Dick Mitchell. Everything collapsing. Mr. Pierre, tell me what is wrong with lawyers. Have a good one, Mr. Pierre.
Well, it may not be fair to say it's the lawyers. You see, it's the policy of the government. The old GNP, they always feel they're smarter and better than everybody else. And the policy of the old GNP was not in the interest of the people in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
how
caller.
are you today?
Great, man.
Mr. Pierre, they are listening to different radio stations and listening people speaking. I'm asking myself if Grenada have a prime minister. I know we have a man by the name of Dick Mitchell. He loved to travel. They say he is the prime minister of Grenada. I would like for them to drop him in Haiti for me, please. Try to see what taking place with the
After what he do to the Haitians?
After
After what he do to the Haitians, they will kidnap that man.
Drop him.
No, they will kidnap that man.
Drop him right there, Mr. Pierre.
No, Haiti don't want that.
Let us see what taking place in Haiti. Why the people and them, they move from Haiti and come to Grenada for rescue. They can. Long rope from Agagood. Have a blessed day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, so let's go back. We have two main political parties in Grenada post-1967. We had the GNP and we had the Grenada United Labour Party. And then we have the Alliance. And the Alliance, a concussion of parties that was against GULP. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
what did Mitchell do? Are you hating?
You want me to tell you 10 things he do?
I go tell you 10 things
Caller. Tell me 10 good things. Tell me 5 good things Dick Mitchell do.
The criminal pay the pension, he pay the doctor salary, he fix the NIS, he pay, he do.
Take your time.
Child children, he take all the feeding program for them, not pay no money. It pass. Because
Caller, stop all. Stella, walk with me. Stop all.
I give you 10 of
Listen to me, caller, stop a while.
Let me tell you, he fixed the Color project and a lot of other things we do. I don't know why he didn't.
All right. Thank you, caller. Later on, I'm going to list some of the reasons and concern we have with Deacon. But the individual asked a question that I want to respond to. I don't think the problem really is liars. I think the problem is the policy of the government. The NNP have a policy that is sensitive to the cause of the people in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother.
The government have set up a customer relation board for people who were wrong dealt with. And I sort of agree with them.
I'm totally against that, caller. If the government set up the board, then the customer relation would not be fair.
Well,
they would not be able to deal with the government issues. If the government set up the board, they can't take on the government. Okay. The government should not set up the board. The government should encourage organization.
Right. I agree.
What the government do there is wrong.
I agree with you to an extent, but I'm saying a relation board is necessary. Needed.
What the government doing there is a sham. The government is setting up a board that would not question and would not go against the government.
Right.
That have a paralysis against the government. This is a sham.
I was coming with part of that too. What I'm saying is that the necessity for a board is needed. So if the government...
We mustn't take bait, you know.
Yeah? No, I ain't taking no bait.
More and more this government behaving evil, you know. This government is setting up the board so that the board going to shut them out on any issue with government.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping... I was coming to that. That's why I'm saying I'm hoping...
You like no hoping and know what the government is doing?
I was hoping that board would be operating in fairness and...
The board cannot operate independent. Where consumer relationship is, government is the biggest employer in the country. Government set the pace where the economy is concerned, and you're setting up a consumer relation board. The government set it up. This is a disaster. This is wrong. This is deceit from its concept.
I understand you, Mr. Pierre. What I'm saying is that the necessity of the board is needed. But I am saying that I believe as you just saying this, I believe that we could have long drawn out cases and reaching nowhere. And I'm hoping that could have will be taken care of, because I realize that when you make complaints, these things that them take years and months before they could materialize or before cases could deal with. So I'm hoping that was my thing. The concept I think is good, but I'm hoping it's the same thing that happened with other customer relation board. When you go and complain to them, very little comes out of it. So even the integrity committee, look at the amount of things that's happening, and the integrity committee seems to not working, not taking up no cases, or not dealing with anything. So that's why I'm saying that I hope, I thought, and believe that we would get some recourse from it. But I don't sure on that. Okay. I ain't sure on that. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Because we see what's happening with the integrity board. There's a lot of matters for the integrity board to look into, and it's not being looked into. I am saying that the customer relation board, I hope that, but I don't believe we're going to see fast enough actions when people complain. That is my thing.
Okay, caller, thank you.
Good.
This government, yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller,
Mr. Pierre,
welcome.
good afternoon.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre, I heard something on the program there about lawyers. I realized two lawyers tried to rule Grenada. Tillman Thomas, he was the Prime Minister, and Morris Bishop. But to say a lawyer ruling Grenada is a failure, will be a failure, that's a kind of myth. And I think that's an insult to any lawyer that is trying to help build this country. I think that person who keeps saying that
The people are right
is
to
not
their
a right.
opinion. We could take issue with the opinion.
that
Let's
person,
take issue with it. But they have
yes,
a right to their opinion.
yes, that opinion, Mr. Pierre, I think it doesn't sound all that helpful for nation building. I think that opinion should be.
Let me ask you a question then. Now we had
Thank
you're gone? You're gone,
No,
caller?
I did, man. I ain't going. I did.
The individual is basing his opinion based on the fact that the two on the occasion when we had Mr. Tillman Thomas, Morris Bishop, Deacon Mitchell, and my other brother, the party performance was really poor. In the situation in the Grenada United Labour Party and the NNP, when you had Eric Gary and Kit Mitchell, we consider them as the most successful political leaders in Grenada. That is what the individual is basing his facts on. So, what is your opinion on that?
My opinion, and I don't think it is that correct to say. To say it that way. I believe we had Nicholas Braffett. He was not a lawyer and he was not a successful politician also. So we had people who was not lawyers, but not successful politician in the country also.
Do you think, caller?
I don't think my opinion on it is that I don't think it is correct to say that.
All right, caller.
Thank you.
Caller, don't go, man. It's a important. It's a good discussion. Are you there? All right, the caller went.
Yeah, well, I like it.
Yeah. Do you think it is the policy of the government, of the political party, more than whether the individual is a lawyer or not?
I think it's the policy of the political party.
Yeah.
I believe it's a party that they've come from, that the mentality of the party. The NDC has a mentality, and whosoever is their leader will always push that kind of mentality. It's a mentality that they look down on the poor, they look down on the vulnerable, and they believe that the country should make them rich, or they and their circle should prosper in a certain way. And people who claim to be poor or that vulnerable, they look down on them. I believe it's that type of mentality.
Well, caller, I generally agree with you. I generally agree it is more of the policy of the party rather than the profession of the individual. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, well, we practically cleared up that point. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon. How you do?
Great, man. Good to hear
You good?
Yeah, man.
Breaking the internet about who could cook and who can't cook. What is that? You know, an internet sensation.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm calling though is because of the consumer affairs discussion.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I heard it. Yes, I heard it raised there by my dear Mr. Bridgman. I'd just like to add to the discussion by way of saying that when I worked in media actively for the 7 years or so, I was one of the biggest advocates for that. Because a number of Grenadians had called in about poor quality services, poor quality goods from everyone, not just government, I felt that it was really something that was needed. I remember a time a lady had called specifically, school opened on Monday. She had gone to town on the Saturday, bought some shoes and school bags. She had 4 children from a particular store, and she actually brought the items for me to see, you know. So she bought the things the Saturday. The kids went to school on Monday. The Tuesday morning, I remember it was to the point she called in and she said this. And then she came by on a Wednesday to actually show me the items. Mr. Pierre, they were dry rot. They were of the poorest condition. When you look inside of the bag, it was just sad. And so I believe, mind you, the legislation for the Consumer Affairs Office was passed in 2018. So that legislation was passed before. I don't know that, and I mean, it was discussed in Parliament and everything. I am not aware that this present administration, whether they went back and had any changes or any tweaks, I'm not aware. It could have happened, but if not, it means what's operating now is under the legislation of 2018. And so I welcome that. I welcome that they have a director. I welcome public education on the matter. And I welcome everybody stepping up their game, because every day we're having issues, not just poor quality goods, poor quality services. Everybody you talk to have a story with our mobile providers. More and more you're hearing now about cable situation, And so I believe that office is very, very integral. I hope it is, used in the way it's intended to for the citizens, for increased better performances in terms of goods and services. Yep. So that is, I just wanted to add that. I mean, it's been almost 8 years later. I think COVID slowed down whatever was supposed to happen with that office in terms of getting it set up, getting the director, staffing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And because it's something that's evolving and things are changing, I expect as it roll on over time, we'll see different things happening. But in terms of its set up, the legislation was passed in 2018. Kudos to those who did it. Kudos to those who have taken it to the second step. And now I think it would really benefit if it's allowed to function in the way it ought to function. Jamaica have a brilliant example of one. I think we would do well. Just one more thing before I go. I like how you trying to shine a light on this whole situation here. Sometimes a lot of callers call in a lot of emotion, and it is really up to the moderator to kind of provide clarity and so on. It is not fair to say lawyers are bad for the country or lawyers are bad leader. A lawyer is what someone does. A lawyer is not is not who the person is. What people bring to any position is who they are. Their character, their conviction, their education, their training, yes, but it is not who they are. So where you're taking the conversation there after the caller made the blanket statement of lawyers being probably trying to make the point that lawyers are bad leaders or political leaders, I think what you're doing here by saying, listen, look at the policy, not the profession or the individual. Because listen, West Indies cricket, some of the best men and women were there. It changed? Liak. Some of the best men and women were there. It is the system. It is the policy. You see? And sometimes we get a little too personal and wound up when we feel a certain way. So we always have to take it to the individual or But I like the fact, I like where you're taking the conversation, opening it up in terms of the policy of the organization they represent or the factors impacting the situation. So that's all I wanted to say today.
Yes, scholar.
Take care.
Two powerful discussion, and perhaps we should have one of them. Both of them need to be discussed at length. The consumer affairs issue and the issue that the individual raised. I think it's the second time I heard him raise it, that the parties that are led by lawyers in Grenada generally come to naught. And I believe it's not so much the fact that the individuals are lawyers, but is the policy of the political party. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. B, for one second.
Yes, go right back.
If they listen what I'm saying and look at the record.
You had the power to rebut
Yeah.
Yeah.
All what I'm saying Just look at the record. We had a revolutionary leader, right? We as kids demonstrate, do everything for Grenada, for the betterment for Grenada. The same happened that Maurice Bishop was the leader at the party. Okay? What happened? We turn against him. We say he's no good. We call him Petit Bouge. No. Let's move it forward. We come to Tillman Thomas. You understand? We call him Uncle Tilly. Right inside there, within 2 years. Problems start again. Mind you, both of them was lawyers. That's what I'm talking about. Nazim Bok take over. Look at the record of Nazim Bok. You understand? It couldn't work. Then we reached to Dick Mitchell. Right? We had no history about him. He just dropped from the sky, enter inside a Grenada, and problems start again. That's what I'm talking about. So this one part, even you look at it, one organization have 4 lawyers and it never worked. You don't think something was wrong? Everybody trying to say, no, not because there's a lawyer.
Not 4, it's about 6
but it just happens that there is lawyers.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, it's a nice, healthy discussion. It's one I would have liked to spend a lot of time on. But as I say on this program, we only provoke discussion. And you dealing based upon the track record of the political parties. And I looking based upon the policy of the political parties. But it's a nice, healthy discussion that we should take on. Because yes, we had Howard Blaze. And he was described as lazy and not so good. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes,
very informative. Very informative. Yeah, and that's the way we have to go. Once we can have open discourse and reasonable, rational discourse, that's how we get somewhere. Mr. Pierre, I remember Dr. Mitchell in one of the parliaments, he was stating that if you come into this politics to be rich, better you leave. Better you leave now. You remember him saying that?
Yeah, man.
Right. And in contrast now, you have a prime minister today saying, if you beggy, and all sorts of things they go buy you. Now, put that in contrast. One saying, don't come into politics for money. And then look at what is happening today. In less than 2 years, these people have increased the salary by almost 95%. Right? They make sure they stock up on themselves. They bring up the procurement money to at least 100,000 without bidding.
A lot of corrupts.
Mr. Pierre, they literally open a cesspool of corruption in GDP right now.
Yeah.
And nobody is seeming to understand these are things that we've seen in plain sight. Even the social media influencers. I remember prior to elections, prior to this NEC coming in office, even prior to NEC being a party that was ready for the next election, which was the last one. These men and them was everything about doing it, they put it up. If somebody down on the beach, they put it up. You know, right now they're saying what? Not all publicity is good publicity.
Well, that's just a means to shut you up. You don't bother with that.
No, but what I'm saying is a hypocrisy for me. Because they was putting Grenada at a bad light then.
It's a strategy they have to silence you. You ignore that.
No, we can't ignore it. Now you're seeing the opening companies, they get concessions, and they enjoying it, right? When on the NMP, nobody, don't come and do business in Greenland. That is what I'm telling you. I'm looking at the people that they're putting in high positions. I see a lady disappear. Nothing wrong with giving somebody a job in it. That lady was chastising men, walking and patching roads in St. David's, and walking behind them with a cell phone in it. She have a big job badge. That is the kind of thing that will get me angry, and this is what the NDC.
But you mustn't get angry. You mustn't get angry.
No, I get angry to do them anything.
But this is the kind of hypocrisy I don't like. Once you understand the policy of the political party, what we need to be concerned about, how to educate our people to understand the policies of the political party.
Well, this is the point in it. The people that is out there doing these things, Mr. Pierre, they don't care about the party. They care about their pockets, and that is what we're trying to tell them as Canadians. These people don't care about you all. They come in from outside, they will take whatever they get and they'll go. That's the reason why I keep saying to the NMP people and to the leaders, look at the electoral offices carefully, look at the diaspora, and these people are coming and vote because, trust me, that next election, these people are them not going out fairly and to me, democratically. Have a good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
But sometimes they vote against Deacon because Deacon is causing a lot of embarrassment and shame.
Well,
and if you provide the information, these people fighting to bring they may well vote against it.
Mr. Pierre, hold on. This thing happened with the police guys and the escaped prisoners and subsequent murder and rape. This thing has gone beyond what Grenada can handle right now. And I am not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney general. But that person, in the name of the attorney general, is missing in all these things because I would have thought if something like that was to be tried and a press conference supposed to be given, the attorney general has to be there, DPP has to be there, the commissioner of police has to be there, and the prime minister. The prime minister was actually answering questions that the
police supposed
to be answering.
And the prime minister the country was begging him to say something.
But we are begging the prime minister not to come and talk about what the police do.
Not to come and charge police, to come and apologize and
come and give an assurance this is not Grenada and Grenada is still a safe place. Right? Do a nice thing. But in the previous press conference, and I keep saying this thing, we have to replay. The commissioner of police said this question goes above my pay grade.
Pay grade and competence.
And competency in it. I mean, how else, Mr.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Yes. And we will have to spend some time. This guy has brought up a very... Yes, caller on the line? Yes, caller, welcome. Caller Punch.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. Yes. I want to share your same sentiment with the policy that have to be the policy of the NDC party. Is like not to say them people, the individual might not want to do good, but when you hear you have a policy and when you hear you have some people, it's like you put the horse in front of the cart in front of the horse. And you want the horse to direct the going down a hill. The cart will pull the horse going down a hill, and they don't care. Even though you're trying to correct them and tell them, well, put the horse in front of the cart. It's like you two dons to tell me what to do. How you could tell me put the horse in front of the cart when I know what I'm doing? I'm bright, you don't. I have sense, you stupid. I could read, you can read. You literate, you need to go. So you need to listen to me when I speak, even not talking stupidness. But I have sense, you stupid. You must listen to what I say. How do you expect they will get it right when they always put in the cart in front of the horse? It will just not work, and that is the policy of the NSC. So therefore, that is their policy, and you can never do nothing about it because they adopt it from the GMP. And they bring it right down to the NDC today. So that will never finish. They will just stay every time they get the opportunity to lead this country, they always will go down that kind of sloppy road. No matter what correction you give them, no matter, because they always just tell themselves, your correction, your statement, don't valid because I bright and you don't.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Hush your mouth. You listen to me. I bright. You don't. You illiterate. I have sense. You don't have sense. You're stupid.
Yeah.
You're dumb. You're dirty. Sometimes they just have a nice thing. They just say, you gullible.
You're gullible.
So that means
you're a traitor.
Yeah, so is that a nice thing?
Yeah, you take bribe.
Even though you're supporting NDC and you're trying to correct the matter, they say you're anti-NDC. You are a traitor. Why you telling me? Even though they're going down the wrong road, even though they're bringing the country into a disaster, that is the mentality of these people.
Yes.
That is the policy of these people. Even though you're trying to help them, they just don't want to help. Have a good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, but that is a healthy discussion. It's a healthy discussion we could have. Because here you have an individual saying, it does seem to me lawyers good to represent us. And why he's saying that? Maurice Bishop, Hubert Blaze, Tillman Thomas, Nazim Buck, Ben Joseph Jones, and the worst of the group, Deacon Mitchell. Then on the other side, you have Eric Gary and Kit Mitchell. But within the groups of Eric Gary and Kit Mitchell, there was also a number of lawyers that was humble, that understood that you must be sensitive to the people in the lower income group. Yes, Color Punch.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I tend to support that last caller too. I don't think it's just a matter of being a lawyer. That we have not caused this fellow.
You supporting is the policy of the political party?
Yes.
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 The NDC is a very dismissive and insulting group that believe they're bright and smart than everybody else.
Yes, I take that.
And they say if you help the poor man, you're giving him handout. Don't help him.
We have a lot of intelligent lawyers all over.
We ain't talking about intelligence, you know. Because once he's a lawyer, you're intelligent.
Right, but the impression that the gentleman gave is that all lawyers.
He say historically, based upon the past.
But we can.
Based upon the past, the guy have a strong argument. So we could take issue with it.
Lawyers, there were persons that were lawyers on the other side too.
But he's talking about leadership in Grenada. If you go in the Caribbean, we had very successful lawyers in the Caribbean.
Yeah, but Bates was a lawyer too.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying that the lawyers that led the political parties in Grenada was generally a joke. From Howard Blaze to Maurice Bishop, Tillman Thomas, Nazim Buck, Ben Joseph Jones, and the worst of all is Dick Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's fair to blame it just on them.
Well, that is his position, and he said based upon the records.
But I don't think it's.
Well, you believe it's because of the policy of the political party. Yes, and I agree with you then too.
Yes,
but it's a nice argument. It's a good argument for the rum shop. Yeah. Yes, it's good discussion, and we mustn't be too warm up. Even though we warm up, we must have a sense of humor. We must be able to discuss issues and don't get too angry. But the National Democratic Congress, the hierarchy of the National Democratic Congress. And when we say hierarchy, the top echelon of the NDC now is the Prime Minister, the ministers, the Attorney General, the people, the advisors. These are the people who make decisions. They're very insulting. It's the most disrespectable group in this country. They're disrespecting everybody. Look at the language they use. Needy and greedy. Classless people. They're busy to call you dummy. Mad black woman. When you meet a stalwart, a patriot, a dedicated, committed, long-serving, successful story in Victoria Shatney player, they call her a mad black woman. Where they get these people and then? You just having a discussion with an NDC individual and he calling you dummy. He saying you're uneducated. If he believe you have a briefcase, a certificate like him, he say you take bribe. Are you doing Keith Mitchell bidding? You cannot speak to an NDC individual without he trying to disrespect you or attack you personally. And that is the problem with these members. They're trying to make a class in Grenada that does not exist. Because they're not so bright. They have plenty certificate, but they don't bright. Because you're a lawyer don't mean you're bright. Yes, you go to law school. What do you expect? You don't expect to pass law school 4 years you do. You don't expect to pass. If you go to medical school, you don't expect to pass. You have the basic qualification. And you go there, you expect to pass. But it doesn't mean that you have much sense when you see what they do when they come back. And the caller, and I think the biggest challenge we have here is the policy of a political party. And when we support a political party, we're looking at the man. And as a result of that, the two individuals in Grenada that attract the most criticism is Eric Gary and Keith Mitchell. And because they were successful, you had a lot of political jealousy. But even in the Keith Mitchell party, this political party stood up most tolerantly against criticism. The level of criticism that went out against Keith Mitchell and Gregory Bowen. Well, I don't think Deacon could walk in that shoe. Deacon, you have a big shoe to walk in, you know. Because don't believe we'll have any sympathy for you. Already you come out dabbling with the occult. You insult it, you try to put the church in its place, stating that church and state is separate. You attack morality. And you have told more lies than all the other politicians put together in under 2 years. And you appears to be the most corrupt individual that trod the political arena in Grenada. And why I say that? Because of your action in GDB, because of your extravagant traveling, because of what you're doing with the CBI program, because of the way you treat the Imanis, because of your level of hostility towards the elderly, the physically challenged and disadvantaged children, because of the level of insensitivity you express towards the caregivers, because you went into United Nations and speak and gave the Haitian the impression that you will be a champion for them. And immediately you turn against them. Because you go and was almost insulting to Caribbean leaders when you said, if they don't fix that thing by December, you're renting 2 planes. And when you're done, you're speaking as if somebody that said that, and you're providing explanation. You can rent 2 planes because you have to pay license, you have to get permission. If you buy a bike in Grenada, you have to pay license. So a big man as you don't know that. You purposely deceiving and telling lies to the country because of your flippant and dismissive way that you treated over 300 people involved in the faith program in schools. So Deacon Mitchell, we have not even met the tip of the iceberg in the criticisms of you. You have to explain to the Grenadian public, why is it you introduce restorative justice? You must. You have to explain that, because restorative justice in its political practicality is political vengeance. We will not be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the burial of Winston White. A very important individual has gone to his great beyond. And we will not have the program tomorrow, because Winston White funeral will take precedence for a lot of the stuff made that he was an important individual in our community. But we're back with you again on Wednesday between 12 to 1 for another opportunity to punch.